welcome back, or if you're new here, welcome to my channel, A Rose Between Pages. Rosie here, and welcome to a new video called Balancing the Books for January. I got this inspiration / idea from Emma, who is drinking by my shelf. I will link her down below so you can go and subscribe to her and watch her videos. She's amazing and has pretty much the same taste in books that I do. So basically in this video I will be showing you all of the books that I bought in January and all of the books that I read in January. I only read 3, so it wouldn't be a long video if I wasn't showing you the books that I actually bought in January as well. And then after I have done that, I will be talking to you about my TBR of possibilities of January that I have read, and then I will talk about the TBR of possibilities for February and my buddy read in February with Elle. Okay, so I bought 5 books. This is House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. Josh bought the second one by accident in December, and I told him that there was a first one, so he decided he was going to buy this for us both. So it is a fucking chunk, but I cannot wait to actually dive into this duology. Then I bought Atlas 6 and Atlas Paradox by Olivie Blake. Secrets, Betrayal, Seduction, Power, Welcome to the Alexandrian Society. So I bought these for Josh because we kept going into Waterstones and he kept seeing them and he really wanted them. And unfortunately they had Atlas 6 in paperback, but they had Atlas Paradox in hardback, and it was really annoying to him, so I decided to buy them both in hardback for him to save him some trouble, and I want to read this duology as well. Then I bought Game of Thrones by J.R.R. Martin. I do own this at my sister's dad's, but I wanted it with me, so I decided to rebuy it. Another chunk. And then Josh bought a Warhammer book, a Horus Heresy book, sorry. It's still the Warhammer universe, and this is Sanguinius, the Great Angel by Wraight. This is the 4th one, I think, in the Horus Heresy series.
Yeah, no, I was very wrong about this. It's actually the 17th book.
But he saw that it was a hardback, and that caught him, and obviously he bought it. Okay, so going on to 2 of the books that I read The Green Mile by Stephen King. This unfortunately was a library book and it wasn't a book that was on my TBR, so my TBR is still really freaking high. I really enjoyed this. I gave it 4.5 stars. This made me want to learn about the subjects: prison, death row, electric chair, serial killers, and psychopaths. I loved everything about this book. Very enjoyable to learn about possible things prison guards and prisoners had to go through on death row. I love that the name of the book, The Green Mile, is literally the corridor to the electric chair. I didn't like the amount of sexual assault that got mentioned. However, I love that John Coffey has a supernatural power, and I love that we're hopping from past to present in Paul's life. So the past being when he worked at the prison, and the present being him being 100 and something years old in an elderly home. And I loved Mr. Jingles. I really loved him. He was one of my favourite characters, actually. Even though he was just a mouse, I grew so much emotions towards this little mouse. He was just my entire universe. Okay, now we're taken away from my TBR, and this is The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. I reread it. Yes, I read it. I think I read it 2 years ago in July. Either way, I'll link the vlog that I did down below, because I did an entire vlog surrounding this. But this took me 11 days to read. I watched all 3 films, aka An Unexpected Journey, Desolation of Smaug, and The Battle of the Five Armies. And I wrote, how is it possible to love a book even more on a reread? The dwarves are just as lovable as the first time I read this. Upon rereading, I've realised that Bilbo is very smart and cunning, and the films don't do him justice at all. Smaug, and then I've put like 3 love hearts. My love for Smaug is just immeasurable. He's beautiful, and I love how keen his senses are and how he just knows things. Him and other dragons will always have a place in my heart. 100% a comfort read of mine. And I showed a lot more appreciation for Beorn and Bomber this time around. Because I don't know why, but the first time that I read this, I didn't really pay attention to them two. Whereas rereading, so good. Like, I loved that I dove back into this fantasy world that I absolutely adore. Okay, so we're adding on with 2 more books, adding on to my TBR, and this is The Darkening by Sunya Mara. Me and Josh bought this because we love how beautiful this cover is, and it looks fantasy-esque, so we're intrigued. A fierce revolutionary, a desperate prince, together they will face the storm or be swept away. I'm really intrigued, and to be honest, it looks like a woman assassin or something. And then I bought The Chalkman by C.J. Tudor because I'm doing a vlog. I'm going to be doing a vlog very soon where I read Sarah's Shelves recommendations. I'll link her down below so you can go and check her out. But I'm excited to read this, and I'm excited to read the other 2. The other 2 are on my Kindle, so you'll find out what I'm gonna be reading when it comes to it. I just don't want to show you the ones that are on my Kindle. None of us ever agreed on the exact beginning. Was it when we started drawing the chalk figures, or when they started to appear on their own? Was it the terrible accident, or when they found the first body? This actually sounds right up my street, so I'm really looking forward to this now. I love anything mystery, and I love anything like to do with crime and stuff. So happy I got this now. Really happy I got it. And then I read The Fellowship of the Ring. This doesn't add or take away from my TBR because I have a book that has all 3 of the Lord of the Ring books in it. So you have The Fellowship of the Ring, The Two Towers, and you also have The Return of the King. So I read The Fellowship of the Ring and I adored it. It was 4.75 stars, and I wanted to research how old Elrond is, because one part he's talking about a battle that happened 3,000 years ago, and it really intrigued me to find out how old he was. You'll find out right now why this was a 4.75 instead of a 5-star. So, unpopular opinion, maybe. Frodo is a fucking dumb character. I absolutely hated reading about Frodo because he was just annoying the hell out of me. He was very naive as well. It was this event. He was supposed to be keeping low and not going by the name Baggins, but in a bar, he literally shows that he's a Baggins, and it just really, really riled me up. I honestly don't like Frodo as much as Bilbo. I absolutely adore Bilbo, but Frodo, he's a bit of a dumbass. Let's just say that. However, my favourite characters have to be Sam, Pippin, Merry, and Legolas. I know they're pretty much side characters compared to Frodo, but I think they're more likeable than him. Like, I absolutely adore them. I love the world building and the other characters. Galadriel and Gimli have a cute moment at one point, and I was so there for it. I was going to give this 4.5 stars, but the ending / cliffhanger bumped it up. I am currently reading The Two Towers now. by J.R.R. Tolkien, of course. And it's a ride. It is seriously a ride. So I did not balance the books for January. That is why I am reading about 8, or trying to read 8 books, which is nearly impossible for me in February. And I almost forgot to mention that I will be buddy reading with Elle, Our Wives Under the Sea. I'll put it here. I can't remember the author's name, but I read the synopsis and it literally sounds like it is for me, because it has one of my favourite tropes, which is main character loses someone who is close to them and then they find them again and they come back not themselves. Okay. Let's talk about my January TBR of possibilities. Let's see what I read. Oh, I'm also listening to The Present Past by Tracy Harding. I'm really enjoying it so far. It's actually really good. I'm getting Merlin vibes from that at the minute though, which isn't bad. It's really good actually. I really enjoyed the TV show of Merlin. Okay, so my January TBR of possibilities was Lord of the Flies, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit, and November 9. I've only read one of those.
And I'm in the middle of Lord of the Rings, so yeah.
And that was The Hobbit. I've read The Hobbit. This means that, obviously we're in February now, I need to finish the Two Towers and Return of the King. And I need to read Lord of the Flies by William Golding and November 9 by Colleen Hoover. Before anybody comes at me, I know what this author has done lately. I know that she, for some unknown reason, made a colouring book of a book that she's wrote that is surrounding domestic violence. So I know what she's done. I do not support this author anymore. If you see me reading any of her books, such as November 9 and It Ends With Us Again and Ugly Love, that is because I got them for Yule, and before she did any of this, I really did want to read November 9. So I will be reading these in February, or might be, depending how fast I actually read. And then I did my February TBR of possibilities. So we have Warm Bodies by Isaac Marion. I am really looking forward to this because you're in the perspective of a zombie called R. So I can't wait for that. I really can't. Satan is Alive and Well on Planet Earth by Lindsey. I got this because of The Stand. I was doing what the characters do in The Stand. This is literally surrounding the devil and black magic, and I'm intrigued. And then we have The Lighthouse Witches by C.J. Cooke. I love this cover. Yes, I still have the Waterstones receipt for this. A deserted lighthouse, a lost family, an impossible child. I'm really happy that Chloe has read this. She's one of my subscribers. Hello, Chloe. I know you're watching this. And she recommended this to me and I bought it, and I'm possibly going to read it in February, so you'll see my thoughts in a vlog of, I don't know, maybe definitely on my February wrap up.
That is if I end up reading it this month. We'll see.
I won't really be reading much today because I have my physiotherapy at 11:30 today, and then straight after I'm meeting my dad and we're going to the pub together, so I won't really be reading much today. But then when I come back from going out with my dad, I will continue Two Towers. So thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, please make sure to give it a big thumbs up and comment below. Let's just say a dragon emoji for Hobbit, and I shall see you in the next video. Stay luscious, guys. Bye.